today I'm going to talk about an arguable topic all the time, cohabitation. So, have you ever known that over the past 5 decades, cohabitation has increased impressively by almost 1900%, and there are 2 divorces registered every minute in the United States, according to Consult on Contemporary Families. So there is actually a correlation between cohabitation and divorce. It may be hard for some to believe, but the debate on whether to move in with your partner before marriage is the one that's still dragging on in 2018. So, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Maybe some of you are living with your partners, some are not, and the rest is going to. But no matter where you are, and the foreseeable benefits of cohabitation, there's so many things to concern that people should not live together before they get married. Well, you may think that I'm because I'm Asian, so I'm not open-minded about this sensitive topic. However, since I have been experiencing cohabitation, I believe that today we will objectively and thoroughly address this sensitive topic. So moving with your partner sounds like a good idea, and then spend an eternity together. However, there are so many things to consider, guys. The first reason is it can increase the chance of risk of divorce. And second is you will lose the whole excitement of being marriage. Furthermore, cohabitation makes it too hard to live. And lastly, living with someone is not the only way that you can figure out things about them. So let's take a look at the first reason why people should not cohabit. The chances of divorce for a couple living together is huge, 50%, according to Council on Contemporary Families. It's so much higher than the couple who have not cohabited. This information based on the Council on Contemporary Families as well. So if living together was a marital compatibility test, the statistics should show the opposite result, which is who live together before marriage should have a stronger marriage, but they don't. They have a weaker marriage. So, and people who decide to live together before marriage, they may do so with the expectation that it will help them to determine if they have a successful marriage with their partner. But however, divorce statistics and cohabitation show that this is not the case. Who live with their partner before they get married are also likely to get divorced if they are unhappy with their relationship after taking the vows, because they have less conservative views of marriage. And apparently, cohabitation has a lack of commitment. So for me, half a commitment is no commitment. Cohabiting couple, they are likely to have one foot out the door throughout the relationship, and members of cohabiting couples also practice on holding back on one another. They rehearse not trusting. So what is exactly the commitment of marriage? It is that you guys will take care of each other of life, regardless of life's ups and downs, and we'll stick it out together through thick and thin. But however, the commitment of living together isn't like that at all. And according to Oakland on his research named The Effect of Cohabitation on the Quality of Relationship in 2011, he said that cohabitation results in 2 independent people, almost like roommates who have a sex instead of a commitment to one another for the rest of their lives. So, oftentimes men views living together as a convenient way to have sex, and a test drive to relationship to determine that if they are going to make a lifelong commitment, whereas women tend to see living together as a next step before they get married, which makes sense. And the next reason why people should consider before they move in with their partner is that you will lose the whole excitement of being married. You may have heard that the old expression that why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free, right? That's such an ugly phrase, but here's the true meaning to the masses. According to National Health Statistics reports, there are only 29% women aged from 25 to 29 who cohabit get married, and 60% of them intact. People couples who live together also say that they have planned to be in marriage when they initially move in together. However, they end up cohabiting for 5 to 10 years, or until they get tired of waiting for the wedding bells, which are never going to ring. This is based on the article in Why Are So Many People Cohabit object. So, apparently, cohabitation is closer to being single than to marriage in terms of contributing. And the next reason is cohabitation makes it too hard to live. Couples always make a financial, emotional investment, and that investment is too big, so that the longer they stay in the relationship, the harder, the most difficult for them to get out of it. So, for example, if you guys want to break up, who's gonna get the custody of the dog? Who's gonna keep the apartment? Who names is gonna left on the lease? That's really complicated. So suddenly, a simple, straightforward breakup somehow now turns to really complicated and kind of like a mini divorce or a divorce dress rehearsal. And lastly, guys, you know everything. You can figure out everything you need to know about someone without living with them. If you say that you need to sleep in a man's or woman's bed to know his or her virtue, they have none. Well, if you spend like few months with someone and you still have no idea if he fits any criteria that you listed, so he doesn't. You know everything you need to know, but you're afraid of to take the next step, whether the step is a breakup or an engagement ring. So I'll close out the topic today by, in conclusion, during the time that couple live together, they know that the situation may not be permanent. They divide bills and probably in terms of yours and mine, but don't necessarily have the notion that the assets belong to both of them. Living together may be more stressful than being in marriage. And according to what we have just discussed so far, couple may ultimately make decision to make their relationship legal, but then it's just so hard for them to do that because it's still lack of stability. So as we have discussed so far, cohabitation even can increase the chance of divorce. It decreases the whole excitement of being married. It creates the barriers to get out of the relationship when it turns to the red light. And guys, living with someone is not the only way that you can figure out anything about you need to know about a person. So I'm not for or against living together, but I'm for young adults knowing that far from safeguarding against divorce and unhappiness, moving in with someone can create the chance of making a mistake or spending too much time on a mistake. I'll close our topic today by letting you guys thinking about one quotation of Pope Benedict XVI. Is that don't believe in living together before marriage guarantees your successful features. By burning certain states, you risk burning love itself. Time needs to be respected gradually, just like the expression of love. Thank you.